All right, greetings, greetings, greetings. Why does this look like that? Hold on, fam. Hold on. Something ain't. Hold on, something ain't happening. My camera accidentally got disconnected. Hold on. Let me kind of plug my camera back in and make sure I'm on the right. Okay, I think it's better now. Damn, that background looking ugly. I think I know what's happening. Hold on, fam. My security camera came on. Hold on. All right, greetings, 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 family. Hope everyone's doing all right. All right, once again, y'all already know this is the last show for On the Masses, right here on Black Power Media Reloaded for yours truly, Professor Griff. And as I've stated in the last few shows, I am having to kind of take what they call it a sabbatical. No, what they call it time off. I don't know. I think during this period, this time of year, everyone should pull it in, quiet it down, and just kind of regroup. I think I'm in position in my life where I have to do that. Even if I didn't have to, I think I would kind of do it anyway. I think right now with things that are happening, it's the right thing for me to do because I don't want to come on and you get the wide range of emotions that you might get from someone trying to hit the reset button. All right. So, all right. Naya Muhammad. Walaikum salam. How are you? All right. Okay. So tonight I wanted to talk about this idea of retreating is not necessarily defeat. So retreat is not defeat is basically the kind of theme. Okay, as y'all can see, I managed to pack neatly. You don't see that many boxes anymore. So I'm making progress. That shows you something. That making progress. Anyway, Nia means purpose. Yeah. Okay, Miss Muhammad. Okay. Peace and prosperity. All right. So I wanted to talk about this idea of retreat. And the thing that brought that to mind is, people go through things in their life and you don't see them, you don't hear from them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're dead and gone. Although aspects of something dying may be the case. All right. Aspects of them have to die in order for them to move that dead carcass or that dead idea or that dead energy or that stale energy out of the way in order to move forward. All right. And I came up with the idea for the song simply because I wrote a song called Circle of Life on my Asafo Soul album. And it's called Re-Evolve. So can anyone tell me what do you think is meant when you hear the term re-evolve? Re-evolve. To re-evolve. Well, what does it mean to evolve? And then what is the prefix re, R-E? What does it mean when you put it before a word? All right. Can anyone help me out? "120-degree wisdom, understanding." DJ Cashville, you're right. I see the knowledge. I thought you didn't put the knowledge, but knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which is 360 degrees. Got you. Re-evolve. Beautiful. The word re, meaning to bind back to. So when we look up words, and I need y'all to help me with this exercise, everyone that's within the sound of my voice. Brian, what's good with you, bro? If you're within the sound of my voice, help me out. I need, let me see, maybe, can we do 12? No, let's do 10. Can I get 10 words that begin with the prefix RE? And as you're putting them up, can you give me a brief one-line definition? I started it off with re-evolve. In order to evolve is to make progress upwardly. The energy centers, the wheels of light from the root chakra to the crown chakra. All right, re-evolve because the energy moves both ways, root to crown and crown to root. All right, DJ Cashville says knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right, Shorty to Precious says recreate, to create again. Beautiful. Rich the Lionheart said remix. Give me the definition, Rich the Lionheart. I need definition. I need one sentence definition. Remix. What is the remix? Phil 7 Joyce said recharge. I need definition. Don't just give me the word. I need the definition. All right. There may be young people. How are you? What's wrong? Okay. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Okay. What's wrong? You okay? Okay. So I need the one word definition. All right. Oh, Quinn, you said you're driving right now. All right. Okay. No, you can't mess with that. All right. Because that's connected to my phone. And if you move that and put it on your ear, it's going to activate it in my phone. And they're not going to be able to hear me. They're going to hear you.
Yeah.
No, I got to do this right now. See, that's the money that you took from me that I had to find it and get it back. Because guess who used to take my money like that?
Me.
No, my son Khalil.
No, it's my money.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
Let me see.
Don't. I'm trying to do this, bruh.
I'm trying to do this, bruh.
Don't say. Don't say that.
Don't say that.
See, what if I say something that you can't say?
I can say something you can't say.
All right. Do you fatical, rappomatical, ready to read the eulogy, be the duck to get buck. See, you lost. See? All right. Solo says re-emanate is to revive and revive, pardon me. And the word revive means what? To revive. No, vive is live. So to relive. Revamping, to improve yourself or structure. Revamping. All right. Recharge. To refill empty vessels. I don't know what that means. Empty vessels with needed nutrients, energy, to recharge. All right. How about revolution?
No.
What? I'm talking to them, not you. Hold up. Revolution. Inside of the word revolution is re-evolve. It's evolution. Get out your nose. Didn't I say get a tissue? Come on, you got to go upstairs.
No.
Here's a tissue. Don't be. Why always 5-year-olds be digging in their nose? Move.
No.
Let me see.
Let me see.
Could you stop?
Can you stop while we're doing something?
See, I'm not playing. I'm calling Amu Johnston.
I call Amu Johnston.
I'm not playing with you.
No, with you.
See how black people act?
Don't call.
No, I'm calling her. See, nope, because you acting up. Nah, bruh.
Please don't call.
Nope.
No.
See, you bouncing. Look at you. Relate. To understand the point of view, return to understand. Excuse me. Can you instruct someone to come get their child? I'm trying to do this show. Thank you. No, I gotta finish this. All right, peace. Relate to understand the point of view. Return to understanding. Relate. Thank you very much, Sydney. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Phil. Revamping to improve yourself or restructure. Rejuvenate to make young again. Rejuvenate. All right, rejuvenate. To rejuvenate. All right. So in my song, to re-evolve, which is the circle of life, all of these words that you're giving me, I put in the song. The concept of the process of re-evolving suggests a dynamic and an intentional journey of revisiting, restructuring, and advising one's personal and collective development. All right. Tapping into the God self. All right. So let me give this to you real quick. The journey of the self, through the self, back to the self. Just pause for a second and marinate on that. I'm not trying to sound like the smartest one in the room. Trust me, because I'm not. The journey of the self, through the self, back to the self. It's the journey of the self, getting knowledge of the self through the self, which will ultimately return back to the self. We're going to get back to the song, but let me explain this real quick. If we are anticipating 1201 tonight being a new year, then we're off kiltered, we're off base, we're not in alignment. All right? There's no reason in the world in dead winter you should be celebrating a new year. Everything is dead. It's cold as hell. Nothing is growing. It's dead. The proper time you should be celebrating the new year is April 1st, which is springtime and everything springs to life. Thus the term new year. Some of y'all have gotten clever and said new you, which I guess that would be right, but it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen in dead of winter. All right. There's some places right now with 9 feet of snow. You can't give birth to the self and complete your journey through the self back to the self dead winter. No, you must pull it all in, gather your faculties, all right, survive this winter. And when the spring comes, when the sun comes back to us, because these people that gave us that concept were sun worshipers. We don't. We understand the sun's movements. We understand the moon's movements. We understand the stars' movements. All right. And we kind of base how we move on these particular systems. All right. So really, I don't want to go into the whole thing about the new year, because it's really not a new year. This new year that they're giving you now is purely based on capitalism, and it's based on commercialism. All right. So this idea of it being a new year, January 1st, no. Nope. No. Anyway, you're right, Mrs. Moore. Springtime is the new year. That's when we're going to see the new you. You're not going downtown to the ball drop. What's the significance of the ball dropping? Can someone tell me? I don't want to get super deep because I just wanted to get through this. And yeah, this is my last show. I want to be able to kind of talk about some things and then get out of here. What's the significance of the ball dropping? Dawn Dada. aka Bulletproof. What's going on with you? I had a beautiful conversation with my friend Dawn today. Beautiful sister, and she reminded me of some things. She's like, Griff, man, I remember when, and man used to teach me so much, and I remember when. I remember too, Dawn. That's when I used to do my 3-hour lectures. Dawn was one of them individuals that benefited from that. But thank you for coming on, Dawn. I don't know why I gave her the nickname Bulletproof. Maybe because she was tough at the time and just unbreakable. Not that I was trying to break her, but the world didn't break her. So, I don't know, I gave her the nickname Bulletproof. Anyway. Okay. The ball dropping means what? The metaphysical meaning of the ball dropping. Just like I celebrate, it's Mother's Day. Tyreek, I don't know about any of that, bro. I don't know. No, I don't know about that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, real quick. The ball dropping all from the year, the energy, all right? The energy, the Kundalini energy rises and it touches every chakra until it reaches the crown chakra, which is tonight. And then once it reaches the crown chakra, it returns back to the root chakra, right? And that means the apple, the peach, the ball, and all the energy have to come back down. The 33 vertebrae back down, the energy centers back down, almost like the clustrum energy coming back down, but it's the Kundalini energy coming back down, and they're counting down. But your countdown takes a lot longer, starting from the crown chakra down to the root chakra. All right, don't get confused by my tongue. Chakra, you may have an accent. I think I have a New York accent. Yours may be different. Okay. Anyway, so the energy comes back down and you have to start the process all over again and raising the Kundalini energy up. So tonight, you shouldn't be bombs bursting in air and explosions and gunshots. You should be quiet, reserved. That's one of the RE words we forgot. Reserved, recluse. You should bring the energy in, get quiet, and then be able to start the process of bringing the energy back down. All right. So when I put the psalm together, Circle of Life, it is actually the circle of life. Journey of the self, through the self, back to the surf. So it is with your born earth or birthday. You made the rotation around the sun and back, the circle of life, to re-evolve. All right? To re-evolve. So in the song, I used the word rebuild, redefine, recall, recreate, reflect, which I'm going to do tonight. Sit quiet and reflect and relate, reclaim, rejoice, release, reassure, reconnect, remind, resolve, respect, specto, glasses, spectacles, respect, going back to look again. That's all respect means is to look again. I see you. I see you again. Shout out to Oya. I see you again. I see you again. Respect. All right. I'm looking through a different lens. All right. I see you. All right. Revisit, reform, rekindle, regain, reveal the true warrior spirit and become revitalized, remind, re-evolve. All right. We must do all of these things. All right. Hold on. All right. All right. So this idea, the concept of the purpose of re-elevating, re-evolving. All right. So I say to look again, which is one of the most important uh, words when we're talking about the idea of not being a rebound, not being rejected, not any of those negative things, but the idea of having and showing and over, under, and having an understanding of things. All right. Which I think is a beautiful thing. So the idea of respect simply means to look again. Like I said, specto, you're looking. All right. But we're not looking with the two physical eyes. We're looking with the first eye. They call the third eye, which is the mind. All right. So when we start talking about looking again, we're talking about the idea of respect. All right. The idea of respect. All right. So when we start talking about mending friendships and making things solid as we move towards the true new year, which is not tomorrow, which is in April. All right. And then the better you, the different you, the more refined you, the more elevated you, we actually see you for who you truly are. So this whole idea of respect, to look again. And I think I was given the chance to look again. That's it. All right. Okay. Anyway, that was a song I wrote. So on another note, there is a few things that I want to kind of lay out. We don't have a lot of time, so I just want to kind of lay these out. Just some things that will stick to the ribs. This idea of having to consciously and physically end a certain period of your life in order to hit the reset button and start again, start anew. All right. There's nothing wrong with that. So the idea of pulling it back into retreat, that doesn't mean you've been beaten down and you lost. No, even in military battle, you find militaries that have to retreat, whether or not you need more munitions or whether or not you need to give your troops rest, to rejuvenate, to collect themselves. Nonetheless, you have to retreat. All right. Okay. Anyway. All right. All right. So I'm just gonna lay out a few things. If you could put in the text what you feel about those things, or just give me your response, and let's just dialogue for the few minutes that I'm going to be on here. Shout out to Kalaji, and thank you very much for allowing me to be on this platform, Black Power Media Reloaded, brought to you by Serious Minds. I'm not saying I'm gone for good. If it's the creator's will, I will be back. I'm not sure when, though. All right. But I have to come back in a different kind of form, so to speak. Making some other things happening in a different kind of way. The world that I used to know doesn't exist anymore. All right. Okay. So anyway, all right. So the first thing is, it's not really what happened to Professor Griff or what's happening with Professor Griff. It's how I react and respond and relate to these things. It's always your response. This is why we take on this thing called, and have to take on this thing called, our responsibility. Am I going the wrong way? I guess the English language goes the other way. Responsibility, the ability to respond. All right, having the ability to respond. So it's not what happens, it's how you respond to what happens. All right. I've accepted the fact that I've accepted this idea of I cannot escape death, but at least I can escape the fear of it. I don't have that fear. I don't. If the Creator calls me home, I'm out. All right. Do I feel like I'm in alignment with what my assignment is? Yes, indeed. All right. So I took on that, understood it, and I moved forward, stepping out on my left foot forward, trampling evil before my heart goes before it. I don't want to keep complaining, not complaining, but explaining ideology and philosophy. I'm at the point in my life now, either I'm going to be it or it's just not going to happen. Plain and simple. So the first thing we have to do in that process is get knowledge yourself. First thing is to know who you are. And then once you realize who you are, adorn yourself accordingly. When I say adorn yourself accordingly, be humble and thankful that the Creator bring these necessary people that's in your life. And I am thankful and grateful for those individuals that are in my life. So those beautiful people that are out there listening, you know who I'm talking to, and you know who I'm talking about. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me see. I think I wrote, what did I write? The key is to keep company only with people that uplift you. All right. If you have a very poetic, kind, gentle, edgy, funny kind of way of uplifting people, by all means, be you. All right. However you receive their upliftment, it's a beautiful thing. The key is to surround yourself with these people. All right. Surround yourself with people that speak to your best and higher good. Once these people stop speaking to your best and higher good, you might need to change your definition of what a friend is. And there's no huffing and puffing, yelling and screaming. Gracefully bow out. Because at that point, there's nothing else you could possibly do. All right. The concept of you became what you gave your attention to may be a lot deeper than what we ever expect. Whatever it is you lent your energy and gave your attention to, that's what you became. This is why I said 2 shows ago, I'm not trying to become the demon that I'm trying to destroy. I said to a friend of mine today, I know how to follow instructions. When I hear wisdom, I submit. And if you think that's better for us, that move that you're making, I humbly submit. And you're right, I'm with you. I'm following your lead. I'm there. I'm there. No questions asked. So the idea of another RE word, resist these temptations, desires, and this kind of thing, and then either do that or you become a slave to them. So then you get comfortable in a thing that may look beautiful and positive, but yet it may have a negative undertone to it. And if the person says, nope, let's put the brakes on that, hit the reset button, let's start this thing over, and let's respect one another and look again. Respecto. Look again. Respect. All right? Which is beautiful. Now, who am I to have wrote the song? I put it on an album which I'm trying to uplift young men into manhood, and I can't follow that instruction. I'd be hypocritical. So I'm following that instruction. We can't keep valuing things that are outside of our control. All right? And like I said, it may look beautiful. It may feel beautiful. It may be warm, fuzzy, and cozy. But if it has a negative undertone to it and it may end up hurting some people in the process, then yeah, you have to revamp that thing. You got to do the remix. I'm sorry. You got to do the executive director remix and be like, look, no. I'm putting my foot down. No, we're not doing this like that. This is how we're going to move. Got you. That's how we move. Nothing great, though, is created in a happenstance or suddenly. It takes time. Even the negative things, it takes time to build. All right. And sometimes it's so much that it may take the equal amount of time to either unravel those things to hit the reset button. Please keep that in mind. All right. And sometimes difficulties show up in a person's character. Or let me say that correct. Sometimes difficulties show up as a person's character. And then you have to ask yourself the question, then what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? I'm talking about men, your relationship with yourself and your son and your daughter. And then the woman that you have children with. I'm talking about to the women, first starting with you. Like, what are you doing? Let the older you talk to the younger you, or vice versa. What are we doing? Okay, then if it's not speaking to your best and higher good, then why are you thinking that? And why are you doing that? Why are you saying that? Okay, then let's stop. And regardless of how much it's going to hurt, then no, we have to, nope, let's just stop and revamp it before it gets worse. I'm not trying to sound like your therapist, though. All right? I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. All right? So I'm saying to you, what is wrong with the idea of practicing who you are? I know that's a crazy concept. Practice who you are. Because guess who's the best person at being you? Who plays that role the best? Yeah, you're right. You play that role the best. Because I remember one guy wanted to clown me so bad. It was hard for him to find something to clown me about. And he just started saying, I mean, live, like right on the show, right? Not like, yeah. He started saying crazy stuff like, how can you, this is what he said, not, yeah. He said, how can you trust a nigga to wear his hat backwards? Just thought that was so. It's funny now. So I said to him, when I first started doing photography, which was some time ago, you know the cameras that have the flip up flash? So when I used to wear my hat like this, and I used to put the camera looking through the viewfinder, and when I clicked the button, the shutter button, it used to hit my bill. So I turned my hat around. I no longer had that problem. When I started studying and using sniper rifles, if you know what I'm talking about, this is a problem. For all those that know, no, I don't have time to explain that. If you got a 30-yard 6 or I won't mention the other stuff. And you have a scope, whether it has night vision or whatever, whether it's a 1 to 6, 1 to 8, or 1 to 32, or whatever it is. Though all those that know. We don't have time to go into and explain it. You know this doesn't work. It just sometimes it does though. If you want to block out the sun because the sun, the light gets into the scope, all right, this would be better. Marinate on that. Any person that has the capable energy and the wherewithal, have the ability to anger you, controls aspect of you. Sometimes some people's anger is their way to get the frustration out so they don't hold the anger in. I had a limit. You're only going to anger me a few times. After that, I got to remove myself from your presence. All right? So when you get put in a certain circumstance don't make the totality of Professor Griff. Now, circumstances may bring out and reveal me to myself, and then the certain set of circumstances that I'm in may say, okay, wow, you hit a low, or you hit a curve, or life threw you a curveball. You see how you responded to that, and what you did and what you said, and the people that you upset around you. All right. Yeah, no, we can't do that. So the circumstances don't make the man. It reveals the man to himself. Or it doesn't make the woman. All right. So before I speak, I've learned to know the meaning of what I'm talking about. Then I speak. Not speak and then figure out what the hell I'm talking about later on. And I see a lot of that going on. All right. So if you happen to have someone that came into your life that you don't know where that person, what that person is going through, that person ended up with you, whether you have a relationship or a friendship or whatever it is, but you're there now, locked in. It's how you treat the individual. Oh, man. Oh. All right. So this idea of having circumstances that people may look at and feel that they're trapped in a negative frequency or vibration. And speaking of that, shout out to Carl Nelson. I was on the Carl Nelson show this morning. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to the staff of the Carl Nelson show. And you can go and tune into the Carl Nelson show at 1450 WAWOL. All right, so let me finish what I was saying. So I gave a shout out to this individual simply because it's not the set of circumstances that make the totality of the man, or the woman, but it reveals an aspect of them to themselves. All right. And if that is the case, the whole idea of what I was explaining a few minutes ago about the idea of the words that we were going over, and I talked about respect. So respect simply means, specto means to look, like your spectacles. Means to bind back to or to do over. So in me saying and giving a shout out to that particular individual, Oya, I said, I thank you for allowing me to be able to respect, to look again, not only at the set of circumstances, but the self. Because if I am the one constructing the concept that I chose to live by, who am I to go against the very thing that the Creator put in me to have other people respect, and I don't respect it. So I said, yes, I have to re-evolve. Yes, I have to quiet it down, push away, silence myself to rebuild and then redefine who I truly am. All right. I have to recall all of those things and those trials and tribulations. All right. And not be quick to get angry or to be angered by the individual that took you and called you to task. So if I'm called to task about looking again, respect, looking again at a situation, and then shifting and changing the frequency of it, I submit. I'm humbled by it. Love you to life for it. I submit. So who am I to say no? Go kicking and screaming. You understand what I'm saying? Thinking I'm more than I'm not. Because when Allah finds his way to humble you, you truly and indeed have to be humbled. That can come through a set of circumstances because it don't make the man, it reveals the man to himself. It reveals the woman to herself. All right. So I have to come to a certain resolve. And then at that point, I have to reclaim, reform, revisit. All right. Then later on down the road, if it's possible, if not, you have to be cool with that. Revisit it. If not, find your place. Because that person may not be the same person 6 months from now, a year from now. You may not be the same individual. All right. But the beauty of rekindling and regaining, you don't want to regain what you had, because what you had, it looked like it was a beautiful thing on the surface. It may have been organic and all that other stuff, but the undergirding of it had a negative component to it, which might have been detrimental to people involved. People that you may not even know, family members, children, grandchildren. It's like, no, wait a minute. Hold on. What you doing? All right. No, let's change the frequency. Let's change the energy. Let's shift the energy. All right. Because if that individual, and it's an exchange now, if that individual is not speaking to your best and your highest good, then by all means, no. Change the vibratory frequency of what it is that you're dealing with and respect. Look again. And I'm asking this for you to take this concept and you look at yourself first. And the beautiful wisdom that person gave me was, yes, no. I view myself in a certain light. I don't do X, Y, and Z. Other people view me in a certain light. They know I don't do X, Y, and Z. This frequency, this energy is really not good for me. So either we change it or I'm ghost. I'm gone. Not ghost, but I'm gone. And if that's put on the table for you, then you got to respect that. And I do. And I think to a large degree, this concept of not being able to grasp deeper concepts because sometimes time needs to get a hold of it. But I'm one of them individuals that I don't need to be spanked and whipped and beaten down to understand a concept. I don't, or an idea, or changing a frequency, or whatever. I readily get it. I'm one of those kind of individuals. I can adapt and adjust, and I'm flexible. All right. I gave the concept. I don't have my swords with me, but I gave the concept in the last couple of shows about having to be flexible. All right. Those are the trees that you see when the hurricane and the storm come. You see them leaning side to side and they're moving with the wind. And those are the ones after the storm, they're the ones standing, still standing. They're still standing. They're still standing. Still standing. I'm still standing. Okay, anyway. So that was my take on this whole idea of the song that I put together called The Circle of Life on my Asapo Soul album, which I was dealing with this concept of re-evolving. All of us are moving towards something. All right. And like I said, this concept of the ball dropping in Atlanta is the peach dropping. In New York, it's the apple, the big apple dropping. It's other places. I don't know what else drops. Anyway, but I explained the idea of the Kundalini energy reaching its peak, the crown chakra. And now it worked its way up the vertebrae and it tapped into the crown chakra. And now it's reached this zenith. So now the Kundalini energy is coming back down. This is the metaphysical concept of the ball dropping, the peach dropping, the apple dropping and coming back down. It starts making its way back down the chakras, the wheels of light. All right. This is the whole symbology of why they want all of your energy, millions of people at a certain time tonight, because they're energy vampires. I would suggest you get quiet tonight. Nope, don't go busting guns in the air. All right? Don't firecrackers and yelling and screaming and partying. And no. 11 o'clock tonight, my phone is off to the morning. Nope. I don't want any part of it. I say pull it in, reserve your energy, get grounded and get centered. Lock in with those individuals that the Creator have put in your life for your life. All right? You don't know what kind of lessons individuals are bringing. It may not even be the lesson that you might want to hear at this particular time. I suggest you get out your own way, because I truly have to get out of mine. Right. Because guess who's the best person at being Griff? Griff. So when you hear Happy New Year, when the New Year is actually April 1st, so what is actually happening 12 o'clock tonight? And then why is it happy? What's happy about it? Most of us are debt slaves. There's only 5% of us that even have money that we can honestly say we have money for groceries tomorrow. Mind Elevation 37, you're absolutely correct. Rituals. What kind of rituals? What's going on tonight? What ritual is that? That they want to galvanize all of this energy. When am I coming to DC? Not for a minute. Trust me, not for a minute. Thank you. Harvesting what, though? Mind Elevation. Energy harvesting? I feel you. What better way to get everybody's millions and millions of people's energy after you don't went broke a few days last week on Christmas? Now you have no money. G, what else do you have to give? That's right, your soul. They're harvesting your energy. So you're yelling and partying and losing your mind. You done probably yelling because all the damn money you spent last week on Xmas. And now you're yelling Happy New Year for what? All right. If you look at, let's take a look at your time signature. There was a 13-month moon cycle, which we just ignore that. They changed it to 12 months in a year. And here we are at a sync at a time. Can't even line back with the self and what naturally goes on with the earth. Because if it's winter time now, we should be pulling it all in and getting quiet, not yelling and screaming Happy New Year. All right? You have set these people up last week to trick and deceive the vast majority of the people on the planet for a whole nother year with the money and energy that you have given them, from Christmas to yelling and screaming Happy New Year. You gave up energy, money, time, all right, 9 natural resources, which is aspects of your soul that you can't regain or reclaim. All right, because now they have it. All right. Listen, last but not least, and I didn't mean to keep you all for an hour. Begin at once, right now, as we speak. Start living the life you want to live and count each separate day as a separate life. All right. Today, I was given a grace, and I have gratitude for it. To be happy, happier, and in order to do that, I have to be able to get with Griff and be able to say, okay, I respect that. I'm going to move forward with that. I'm following your lead. I'm following your lead. You got me? I got you. Okay. The hitting the reset button. That was hitting the reset button in my life. Those things that are not speaking to my best and highest good, I can't continue to do it. Can't. So let me break the body down in order to build it up. I want to go and meet the 30-year-old Professor Griff. Y'all remember him? No, y'all remember. If you don't remember, I said Armageddon has been in effect. Go get a late pass. Step, I said succotash is a meal for kids that make cash, selling drugs to the brother man instead of the other man. I said revolution is not an event, it's a process. It was said of me, Griff, get the green, black, and red in. Count down to Armageddon. I said we're the S1Ws. We secure the fact that we are first world people and not third world people. I said the most important one, I am God having a human experience called Griff. It took y'all 2 or 3 years to grasp that concept because I told you a long time ago, I don't look for God outside the self. And some of y'all still having issues with that. I didn't say I was your God having a human experience. I didn't say I was the God having a human experience. I said I am God having a human experience called Griff. I'm going to be quiet for a second, let y'all marinate on that. Can I ask you something? If the Creator gives me an assignment and I carry out the assignment, this is for you too, Dawn. Well, Dawn, you already know because you're a soldier. If the Creator gave me an assignment and deposited that assignment in me, and when the Creator called, I answered the phone and accepted that assignment, and that day I started doing what was put in me to do. I've always said to you guys, it is up to the Creator to protect me. And when I say that, I don't mean anything spooky. All right? There's a reason why we met. And you became that safe place, providing a safe place and a safe space. All right? There's a reason why we met, Dawn, and you came around and says, no, I don't give a damn what's going down. No one's putting a hand on Professor Griff. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you to my strike team. Thank you for all of the soldiers out there. John Trey, B. Son, thank you. Jabril, Ernsta, y'all know who y'all are. All right. So then if I'm carrying out that assignment and you see that, and I'm doing it, keeping 10 toes down, unselfishly doing it, then what is your duty and responsibility? If you fed me, you know I'm humbled and I appreciate that. if you let me rest and sleep, and you looked at me and said, damn, what is he going through that this man has been asleep for hours? Damn, he's exhausted. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you say, no, you don't have to do X, Y, and Z, just relax. Just bring it down. That's why I'm forever grateful. Real talk, F3E, what's good with you? Big up Professor Griff, Southgate, North London. You know, I used to hang out in London, for real. Brixton in a building, for real. Yeah. I used to run the streets of London. Shout out to my Muslim family, my brothers in London. All right. So then if I carrying out my assignment, which you should be carrying out yours, and our paths cross, it's up to us to understand, why did our paths cross? Who are we in the eyesight of Allah, of the creator, of the source, that our paths cross, and what are we supposed to be doing? All right. We love you from Dayton, Ohio. I love you too. And you know I do, because I show you in my actions. All right. You know how many people I have to check on and offline in reference to who we are as a people? I went at the invitation of someone else to go bring gifts to the monks, because they're on a walk for peace. And one of the reasons why I did that, simply because it's something I can't personally do. I can't walk 2,000 miles to Washington, D.C. If they're doing it, let me at least bring a gift or some water or a prayer and sit with them and pray with them. And we did, to help them on their journey. That doesn't speak to who I'm not. That speaks to who I am. I'm in alignment with my assignment and the source and the creator that put me on my assignment. All right. Okay. Will there be some trials and tribulations? Will people come and go? Yeah. Yep. Now, there's some people that will stick with your spirit. Like, for example, there's a man, some of y'all might know him. His name is Stevie Lloyd. He's no longer with us. He's part of the ancestral realm. I would not even have an idea of how to play this if it was not for Stevie Lloyd. I would not know discipline. I would not have went through my first rites of passage from boyhood to manhood if I didn't know. King Cam James, peace. Appreciate you too, brother. I would not. And just when you think that man is only teaching you how to play the djembe, no, it's a lot deeper than that. It's a lot deeper than that. If this man, Professor Griff, has elevated your consciousness one iota to 1 degree, all right, I'm not saying you owe me anything. You owe it to yourself, to align yourself with what I'm saying. And if you happen in the process to give thanks to Professor Griff for aiding me like Bulletproof did today, all praise is due to the Most High. Peace to the God and peace to the goddess. Peace. All right. This is my last show. I hope I've said something that you could take with you, that if I don't see you again, you will remember and you'll take it and move it forward. My shoulders are strong enough for you to come and stand on the shoulders, all right, because I am standing on all those that came before me. All right, we're not there yet. Trust me. Come on, fam. Stand on the shoulders. I got you. All right. So inshallah, hopefully, I will see y'all again sometime. I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to put that out there. There's some things I have to do. And, emotional intelligence and emotional maturity is one of those things I have to kind of get back. All right. Okay. To my brothers, my team. All right. We out in the field tomorrow. Turn the cell phone off tonight. Get some rest. Because tomorrow we out in the field. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Come suited and booted. I don't give a damn if it's 2 degrees. Let's go. All right. All right. There's no sense in you knowing and understanding this concept that no one else is coming to our aid. No one's coming to our aid. All right. I'm charged with the duty and responsibility of training men and women, soldiers. I've taken that. I've accepted my assignment. That's what I'm doing. If Allah, the creator, whatever you call the creator, calls me back home in the process of me doing that work, then so be it. I am humbled that I was allowed this much time. I made 65 rotations around the sun and back. All right. And remember my words. I don't want you coming crying at the funeral and that kind of thing. Nope. We're going to have a celebration of sending Professor Griff back home to the creator. All right. Because I've done my job. All right. Love y'all to life. Y'all already know that. All right. That's all I have. That's all the time Kalanji's giving me. All right. This is my last show, so I will speak with you guys some time down the road. I love y'all to life. Peace. Revolution is not an event. It's a process. All right. For those that are scheduled to take the online classes, I got you. All right. Everyone that has my number, know my number, contact me. I'm not shutting myself off from the world, but if I don't answer, trust me, I will definitely get back with you. All right. Thank you for taking me and giving me clarity where I was lost. You definitely have and will always have a soldier with me. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Dawn. All right. Peace.
Greetings, family. This is Professor Griff. I want to take this moment to thank everyone for supporting me in my efforts to raise the vibratory pitch of your thinking into your higher self. Thank you very much in my efforts right here on Serious Minds RNTV and the masses. All power to all the people. Thank you very much. If you would like to continue supporting, and if you are a new listener, please support by giving your donations right here on my Cash App, $ Professor Griff, and or go to www.professorgriff.me. Thank you very much. Peace. All power, all the people.
Peace, fam. Peace.